Okay, so I was made aware of this poll, I guess. This is a poll. Yeah, it's a poll. A couple weeks ago, and it is Marvel Future Revolution is nominated, one of 5, for Best Mobile Game. And it's... I voted for it. It was obviously a little bias. And it's just because I don't play the other games, so I have no idea. Some Alliance mates did play Pokemon's Unite, and I watched them play it live, and I could tell it wasn't probably for me, just personal preference. I've watched gameplay on Genshin Impact. I understand like it's wildly successful. I'm assuming Future Rev may or may not be able to hold a candle to that, I'm assuming. But also didn't look like my jam. And this, I'll move myself over. Fantasian, never heard of it. So don't know whether or not it's good or not. And then finally, League of Legends Wild Rift in the middle. Who knows if that's good or not? Maybe, I don't know if you guys have tried these other games. Obviously, if you're watching this video right now, you have an opinion one way or the other if Future Rev should even be on here. So I went to the Metacritic of said games. League of Legends was the standout at 89, and Future Rev was actually the lowest, but still a decent score on Metacritic. And the other ones were, there was no up-to-date Metacritic score for Pokemon Unite, not sure why, but it did have a... that's in the red. I don't know if that's based out of 5 or not, but there's a user score. But there's only 2 critic reviews. I guess there's a minimum threshold for that to be able to get a rating, which it did not have. And then the other 2 were pretty close at 80 and 82, so they weren't very high over Marvel Future Revolution. So at the end of the day, I like to say that. I just thought to myself, hey, if I'm being unbiased, is this game awesome? At one point, when I first started this game, before all these new game modes came out, at one point when this game first came out, would have given it a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. I really thought that this game was amazing. Now, they've added a lot of cool stuff since then, so you would think my score would go up in comparison to other, like really there's a lot of great stuff that does come with this game. If we're just putting opinions aside about Netmarble and making money and all that jazz, if we just look at it is it fun? Should it be in a conversation with other games? I will concur at one point, this game I would have given it a 9. Tons of fun. But over time, when you look at all the game modes, Blitz, Most Wanted, Spec Ops, Battle Challenge, and Raid, they're all games that could be potentially fun, but over time, the PvE game modes lose a lot of luster. They become boring, repetitive, etc. And they're just part of your daily grind, and you kind of look at them like that. Now, the whole is, I think, greater than the sum of the parts at the end of the day, and that's what makes this game still fun. But a lot of the fun comes from the PvP game modes, which are ultimately Omega War. And Dimensional Duel, I guess, isn't really like a ton of fun, but Omega War to me is probably most fun, and that's only because I've spent money. So for a lot of people, that is not a fun game mode. And so PvE is now the Alliance War did come out, and there's a lot of potential there, but they got to work out some kinks, I think, so everybody can enjoy that game mode. Right now, it's kind of segregated towards people that are more powerful, and all of these things, Blitz, depending on what level you are, now you only play one of the Blitzes. Ultimately, all the other content is Kingpin up until Maestro. Once you level up to at least 105, probably becomes dead content you really don't use anymore. Most Wanted after a while isn't fun. Spec Ops is the only game mode that I don't play anymore. Battle Challenge is kind of fun, but you get to a point where you can auto it when you get to a certain threshold of power. And I don't know where that minimal threshold is, but I do feel like a lot of people are more on that side of it than not. And then raids, you kill the same bosses every day for 4 or 5 months straight, kind of loses its luster after a while. Invasion, fun for the first maybe 6 times you do it, and then it starts to feel like a grind also. Still, pretty fun for the most part. The thing is with all these game modes, though, they have a lot of potential. Could Blitz, if it had, if they unlocked every single one of the blitzes and you had an option to pick a difficulty slider for level 110, then go like just like you do raids, I think that game mode would be way more fun. Most Wanted, make them global bosses, really difficult, way more fun. Spec Ops, not really sure what you do there other than add more of them. Same thing with raids, add more of them. Battle Challenge, raise the ceiling to where there's more stuff to do. Tie some of the rewards to things in let's say if you do that, that any rewards tied to them are minimal, maybe make it cosmetic things. I don't know, just to appease so people don't lose their minds and think this is just about not having more fun. It's about getting more rewards, which it's not. It's just things have to stay challenging at some point. Really, that's just the long and short of it. And all the PvP modes, unfortunately, are catered to people that spend money. So I think as a whole, though, a lot of free-to-play are starting to kind of catch up, sort of. They keep adding new things over time that give us more incremental power. Like if you're willing to whale out on the companions, for instance, you can get, I don't know how much I got, another 150k. Well, I don't remember how much additional power I got from companions, but it does feel like every month or so they add in something else that gives you another opportunity to spend more money and try to. But what do you think like a high-end free-to-play player is at power-wise? 1.3 maybe 1.4. I do feel like once you get up in that like 1.3 1.4, there's a lot of nuances when it comes to being able to kill the highest of high level people of like 1.5 1.6 1.7 and so on. I don't feel like it's as dramatic as someone 700k fighting someone 1 mil, where it feels like there's a substantial advantage that you can feel. RNG is still a factor. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of weird calculations that go on. And at the end of the day, if you're in a 400k ballpark of someone and you know what you're doing, you can kill other people that are more powerful than you once it gets up to you when you're in the mid 1 mil area. But I think at the end of the day does this game deserve to be in the conversation with all of these other games? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's purely based on potential. If they make some of these adjustments that I suggested, I think it could potentially be the best game, but they have not done those things, and it's still a work in progress. They still are adding things. There are some tells though, the orchestra, the voice actors they hired, it is the Marvel IP. I feel like there's some accountability to make a good game. It does feel like they're always making changes. So I'm going to put the link to this poll where you can vote. And if you're someone that has played these other games, let me know if you feel like Marvel Future Revolution should be in this conversation as one of the best mobile games of the year. And if you feel like any of those other games that you've played them and you know for a fact they're better, or you know for a fact that they're not as good as Marvel Future Revolution. Future Rev did show up as the lowest as far as the meta score. I don't know how much weight you can put into that. And, but I do feel like the community here is very negative. I don't know if those people are like that in all those games as well. Like I said, I only got limited knowledge of what to even compare anything to. And my experiences with those games have only been watching reviews on them, watching YouTube videos, and then watching some Alliance mates play one of them. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. When I first saw that they were in there, I was like, oh, really? Neat. So yeah, if you let me know what you think about all that. Should they be in there? I know there's a really negative side of the community in Future Rev. There are people that like say this game's the worst, but they still play and they're not playing those other games. I don't know. It's a really weird atmosphere in this game, like nothing I've ever seen. So I thought some of you might either appreciate the fact that it's in here and it's part of a conversation, or that it's that you feel like it shouldn't be, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.